Acquired talent syndrome. You will wish to be infected. Why did you follow the video to know the truth? Medical syndrome is very strange, and until now, scientists and doctors still find it difficult to understand and explain it. Here are some information and facts about it. Examples of acquired talent syndrome. A 10-year-old boy suffered a brain concussion after being badly hit with a baseball ball on his head, but surprisingly, this child developed a lot of amazing skills and mental abilities after this trauma, so he has great mathematical abilities and the ability to remember every single day of his life with the smallest details. Another elderly woman who became very skilled at drawing suddenly after suffering from one of the types of cerebral dementia, and another patient who possessed another artistic talent, music, after suffering the same disease, a construction worker aged 56 years and had no known artistic activity before he became a poet and creative writer after his injury stroke. A child aged 8 years was suffering from repeated epileptic seizures and was determined to treat and recover. He underwent a surgical procedure represented by the eradication of the entire left and surprising brain hemisphere that, after a short period of time, he became a calculator in every sense of the word. These previous and other examples are an example of what is medically known as acquired savant syndrome. Types of this strange medical syndrome. Researchers divide the syndrome into two parts, congenital and congenital acquired. Until 1996, most of the known cases of the syndrome were children and were found in people born with neurological and psychological diseases, the most important of which is autism, and similar diseases and their creative abilities began to appear between the ages of 3 to 4 years. This is radically different from the acquired type of syndrome, which may appear at any age after exposure to head or any other brain disease. It is worth noting that acquired talented syndrome is very rare, as all cases mentioned in the medical history range between 15 to 25 cases only, while congenital syndrome is a little more common. The opinion of science with this phenomenon. Until now, there is no accurate and clear explanation for the occurrence of this strange brain phenomenon, and researchers are still trying to answer many of the questions that revolve around it. While some explain the occurrence of the syndrome that the disease or organic disease induces structural changes in the brain and leads to an increase in blood and oxygen flow to specific parts of the brain, which leads to great physical activity and nervous activity in these brain parts, which leads to the development of special abilities and talents in the injured, and others attribute this phenomenon to electrical reorganization in the brain material and synapses in the central nervous system (CNS) after bruising and diseases, allowing the emergence of new mental and intellectual changes. Questions you need to answer. Among the questions that are still pending and need more studies and research to answer them, is the occurrence of acquired talent syndrome limited to a specific type of human being with distinct structural and organic characteristics in their brains? Or is it possible for all people to occur, provided that they occur under the same conditions and effects that people have encountered? Can this syndrome be instigated voluntarily and deliberately? Thus the ability to control the release of amazing talents and intellectual capabilities in humans? Perhaps the coming years will bear logical answers to these questions and their likes, and therefore we have taken an additional step towards understanding the human brain, which is the most complex and mysterious organ in this world. This is the end of today's video. Do not forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel.